All right, so today we're solving radical equations, and um, the big thing that we're going to learn about today is this right here, this extraneous solution, okay? And it's a number that will give you a negative under the radical sign, okay? So, and to undo a square root, you have to square both sides. So if we looked at this example, okay, and we square both sides, well, that kind of takes the roof off the radical sign, so that's just x, and then we get 81, okay? And the only thing that we can, that would give us a false statement are our EX right here. I'm sorry, our ES, which stands for extraneous solution, would be x not equal to negative 81. It's kind of like those excluded values and stuff from years ago and rationals that everybody hated and thought it was really difficult. But that would be something that we couldn't put in there. So we're going to kind of tiptoe through some of this. We may not do all the problems on the handout. I just have some extra just in case. So, all right. So this one's very similar. So if we square both sides, and some of these won't have an extraneous solution. Like technically that example didn't have one, okay? We square both sides, we get x equals 100, okay? Kind of straightforward, pretty simplistic. And we're just kind of, again, we're going with the walk, jog, run thing. We're starting easy and moving on, okay? All right. So this right here, if we square both sides, we get 100 over m over 10. Okay, so to solve this, we would actually multiply both sides by 10, and we get 1,000 equals m. Some of y'all are like, this ain't that bad. Some of this really isn't. Once you like square stuff, it goes back to a lot of stuff we did at the beginning of the semester with solving with variables on both sides and things of that nature. So it's kind of, then again, it doesn't matter where you head to after high school, to your school, for your school. If you go in even some parts of the military, you may have to take some type of math. I mean, I know people that they're like, oh, I don't know how to do math, but they know how to like move satellites in orbit. That's actually an algebra 2 thing. Okay. All right. So we're going to square it. We're going to have v minus 4 equals 9. We're going to add 4 to both sides. And we end up with v equals 13. So I want to look ahead at some of the other problems. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can do this. See if I can do this and it not throw y'all off too much. Yeah, that's hard to see. Off. Okay. That's back to number 3. I do want to kind of skip ahead because some of these are kind of redundant. Oh, not that one. No, that was the actual problem we had for the, no, not that one either. No. No. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at number 9. Yeah, I know I'm jumping around. It's me. Okay. All right. We can't square everything just yet because we don't have the square root. Like this is kind of like the x or whatever. We got to get the square root stuff by itself. So we need to add 8 to both sides. All right. Now we would square both sides. Add 5. Divide by 5. So A would be 6. Okay. Now, the extraneous solutions we hadn't really came across just yet. You actually have more of those on your homework, and I've added a couple of extra problems on our lesson just to clarify some things. But these believe it or not, these are basic solving equation skills. And I know people like, I think, no, she went to a trade school for her cosmetology license, like an actual cosmetology school. But I do know, like, even my stepson, that he's in industrial maintenance. He actually had math classes where he had to do stuff like that. And believe it or not, in some of his electrical and mechanical classes, they were doing upper level math. They didn't even realize it. Okay. Kind of interesting. All right. Let's see. Let's look at 10. What do we need to do first before we can square both sides? If this 10 is being multiplied by this square root. Very good. The opposite, we divide. So y'all just need to be thankful that this microphone can actually really pick up y'all not saying anything. Like the other day, on Saturday, I was hunting and it was kind of warm and I heard crickets and I'm like, wow, this is what I hear when I ask questions in the classroom. That's funny. Y'all need to laugh at that. That one was actually really good. Especially, I've been told some of my jokes are pretty bad. All right. I think we've done one like this already. We can go ahead and square both sides. That's easy. X minus 5. Add 5, add 5. We got 15.5. I had the handout here with me so I could see which ones, because I guess that's what I get for finding something and putting it on a handout and then realizing later I needed to add in more. Potato, potato. All right. We're just going to do the first step because I know y'all can do this. What do we have to do first on this one? Not plus 10. This is being multiplied. Divide by negative 10. Okay. So we would have this right here. And then we square it. It's kind of very similar to some of the last ones. See, when the directions on this handout that I found, it said find extraneous solutions. I thought it would have more of it, but then the one I used for the homework problems, it actually had more of them right here. So, nope. 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 All right. Somewhere on your paper, probably on the bottom, I want you to write this down. Okay. This is more like some of the problems from the homework, and I realized that like 10 minutes before y'all came in, because I'm a slacker teacher, and I wanted y'all to be prepared for it. So I added those in, and I'm gonna. It's not on your paper, so you have to write it. All right. So the first thing we need to do right here is to square both sides. This one I know will have an extraneous solution. Okay. So when we do this, we end up with 110 minus n equals n squared. Okay. So we still can't solve this just as is. But if we move everything to one side so we have 0, we can. So I'm going to do this. Hopefully this doesn't confuse you if I could actually write the correct number. I'm going to move all this over all at once. Okay? Instead of having to take one step and subtract the 110. Have I already lost y'all, or are y'all okay with that? All right, for the 6 people that are paying attention. Awesome. All right. So all I did was I subtracted 110 from both sides, and then I added in. I just did it all at once. Since they're unlike terms, I can do that. And I'm just adding, subtracting. I'm not multiplying and dividing. So when I do, I end up with this right here. All right. Believe it or not, y'all know how to solve this. Y'all just may have forgotten how. This is actually a quadratic. This you can factor. All right. Our signs are going to be different because this is negative, and our bigger number is going to be positive because our middle number is positive. Okay. Now, what numbers that can you think of just off the top of your head that can go into 110 that will divide it? Yeah. Just off the top of your head. Yeah, you got it. You're on the right track. 10 and 11. Because 11 times 10 is 110. Yeah, I know. Some of y'all are like, this has to be harder than that. No, it's actually, this one's pretty easy to factor. Now, when we did this earlier this semester, we did the opposite. And it said, we would have like n equals the opposite of plus 11 is negative 11. And then the opposite of negative 10 is plus 10. All right. But here's the issue now. All right. The way we check this is we plug it back in. Okay, so I'm actually, let me type this out because if I handwrite it, y'all won't be able to read it. Okay, so I'm about to check for extraneous solution. And it's actually pretty easy because all I'm going to do is to plug both of these back in. I'll just move my face right where I need it to be. All right, so I'm going to cheat. All right, so I'm going to take both of these and plug it in here. All right, so I'm going to use negative 11 first. So if I have the square root of 110 minus negative 11 equals negative 11, okay? Can we have a square root equal a negative number without using an I? If you were to take the square root of a negative number on your calculator, what would it say? It would say domain error. Okay? So you can't take the square root of a number and it equal a negative. So guess what? 11 is not one of our answers, but 10 is. So our actual answer on this is 10. Okay? See, that's why I want to kind of do this. We're doing this today. We're going to do a little bit tomorrow, and then next week we'll come back and revisit it. Okay? Because I know some of y'all are like, what just happened? All right, let's look at another one. All right, let's look at this one right here. I will give y'all a hint. Anytime y'all see one of these that has a variable on the other side of the equal sign, you're going to have to use factoring. Okay? You're going to have to use factoring. All right. Does everybody have this written down? All right, good. So, first thing we're going to do is square both sides. Okay. So, we're going to have p squared equals 2 minus p. Minus p. That's what happens when you go to the bathroom. Oh, we got a chuckle out of people. Yay! That is what happens. You go to the bathroom, you subtract p. That's what's funny. This is going to go on YouTube. Somebody will find this whole lesson, just do a screen capture of that, and then I'll be like a viral teacher and have to go to Dr. Clayton's office or something. All right. So, yeah, I know. I have it closed until I get done teaching. Nope. I mean like that. All right. So we're going to subtract 2 and add p to both sides. I guess when you add p, that's when you're drinking fluids. That's kind of gross. Okay, I shouldn't have said that one. The minus p one was funnier. Okay. All right. So this we can factor. And again, this one factors pretty easy. A lot of these that I put on here, they're easy to factor. They're not anything, no AC bus to B, because that's not what I'm asking for. It's for something else. All right, our signs are going to be different because our 2 is negative, so I'm going to have a plus and a minus. Okay. The only 2 factors of 2 are 2 and 1, and the bigger number has to be positive. All right. I'm going to show y'all a trick that will actually help you for like finding which one's the real answer and which one's not. All right. So if we solve this, we're going to get P equals -2 and +1. Okay. Just about every time, because they have this variable right here, just a variable by itself, it's never this one. It's never the negative. For those that had algebra 1 here, I don't know if you remember where y'all had to, like, it was find the area of the shaded part of a rectangle, and you had to factor, and it was only one number because you can't have a negative measurement. It's kind of like this. If you have a variable on the outside, I gotta quit touching the screen because y'all can see what I'm talking about. On the outside like this, it's never the negative number. Okay, it's never the negative number. Now, the extra problems I didn't go over, if you're just wanting extra practice, feel free to do that. As soon as I get stopped recording, I'm gonna make the homework available for y'all to work on. Okay. So good stuff. Roll time.